Hi everyone, and welcome to another art stream. I'll be working on my comic, Raising the Bard. So, either if you sit back and relax, or feel free to draw your own stuff and have me on in the background. So, let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, I'm starting to clean this up too. Maybe if there's time, I'll go back and work on that. Let's see. Oh, that's what I was working. There's my character design. I might do a little bit more work on her. It's the old magic page that we were showing off for a style guide, because in chapter 2 it's going to jump to their story, so I want to be sure I know how to draw both of them. I need to fix her face in this one, but otherwise that's a pretty good drawing. Yeah, this is where we left off. So, okay. So I have a rough version of this drawing. Let's see if I can find it. Uh, I think it's here. A lot of stuff happens here. Okay, here's the page. Right. Okay, so here we go. Let's work on. I've been doing some research into ways to market these videos, and on how to do time lapse. So I know I keep saying it's coming soon, but I assure you that I am doing research, and it will actually be coming soon now. It's just been a busy schedule outside of the comic, and soon. Oh, actually, what am I doing? That's not the side. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to go over all this with, well, not obviously, but I'm going to be going over all this with the actual boxes in Clip Studio. So, well, you have a much nicer looking page when the cleaned up line work is put on top, which is what I'm going through and doing right now. Try to keep a close eye on the chat, so I don't miss anyone. Because I always tend to just turn away at the wrong moment. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a. What are some projects for this? Like, I saw one cool thing that I might do is I mean, this is for after the comic actually starts. Making background screens for people's phones would be really fun, because computer screens are one thing, but I think people would probably enjoy more having the phone, because you carry your phone with you everywhere. I think that would be a much more meaningful thing to start with. I can always make wallpapers later on as maybe like a bigger thing for for the Patreon, but like maybe even like the screens, I'll have like specific ones that are free, and then the other ones that if you're even like a $5 person, like a patron, you'll get access to them, or something like that. Ooh. I'll go over that stuff this weekend and think it out carefully, or in tomorrow. I gotta stop saying this weekend, because I always say that, and then I'm like, this weekend could mean, any day this weekend. It's like, no, it means right away. I always try and do too much at once, and I need to just break this down into more smaller steps, which is what this is me thinking, like, is like finding ways to promote the comic on certain pages on Facebook, and just getting the message out about the story more, so more people know what it is. Be cool if I could do like a. I'm really tempted. It'd be hard, but I might do an. No, see, that'd be too hard. Doing an animatic for the comic would be really cool, because I love. Plume had this gorgeous. I mean, but they come from an animation background, so I believe. I could be wrong. I don't know if they were doing storyboarding yet, but it's just me getting some energy. But I also have my water here, so just caffeine's good, but yeah, it'll make you dehydrated. So. But yeah, it'd be really cool to do, especially if I'm going to do exposition or something. It would be more fun to actually have the characters say it. But maybe that can be a stretch, or not a stretch goal, but a like down the road, like next year goal for me, to like try and have that all figured out and try to have the characters down to the point where I can just draw them enough that drawing an animation for them wouldn't be a big deal. Because right now they're still fresh in my. There's still something that's kind of new to. I mean, I know it's been like a year, or not quite a year, but it's been. How many months? It's been like. Maybe like 7 months or so, or maybe 8, somewhere in that range. Which is honestly, the fact that I have this many pages is a good sign, because my other comic I had for like 3 to 4 years, and I only had like a few pages done. So I'm really excited that I'm already this far into it, even though it doesn't. I know it seems like it's really slow. It's going to. I know it's going to pick up soon. I'm getting more excited about the story. I'm finding more ways to market the story online. So, and yeah, it's just, I just think I can find better ways to get the message out now that I've been doing some research and learning more about how you actually like promote things on Facebook and on various other platforms. It's like I probably did too much work on this one panel. let's so that we're not like spending the whole day here. Let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the rough line work. I mean, not line work, the gesture for the characters, and then following that, I'll go back and that's too. See, that's. Maybe I'll make that a panel. I don't know what it can be, but then I can just push this all up a little bit. Change the vantage point to be more like him, just like she's just like from above, kind of. Blasting him with a guitar solo. eyes are watering in pain. Like this giant, fearsome, like lycanthrope werewolf is just like underestimated. Having super hearing with someone who has cordless electric guitar that can just blast music anytime might be a bad thing. And she's trying, from the beginning, she's trying to cast spells. And we'll find out in this fight that she still has a bit to learn, but she's getting better. Maybe this can be her like getting. She's prepping the chords or something. That panel I just made up right now, so I might change it. I always say we. I'm gonna change it probably, but like I said, it's just a quick sketch, so there's no big deal if I have to. Actually, I'm gonna kind of do an anime thing here just for fun, of like the panel where it's like, I know it's cliche, but it's fun to just like have a moment where he's just like, huh? How could she be this strong? No, not. He won't say that because that's. I always used to roll my eyes in Dragon Ball whenever anyone said that line. It's like because they're fighting you and they've been alive this long. That's how they. That's how they're strong. He's just got it down here, and now he's got like. Nah, that's the other arm actually. So now he's got this up here, and then I'm gonna push this pose a little bit further in because I had him kind of slamming into this giant werewolf, but I want to make it more. Feel more like he's in its space, so I'm gonna push this. Yeah, so that he's just like taking up the whole. And the beast hand could be up like this, like that, and then one going down and out. So that you see that it's getting hit, but it's not exactly. He's not won. He hasn't won yet, but he's definitely landed a pretty decent blow on this creature. So now let's go back. What do we do this second page? Because I'm not sure about that. There's always the possibility of, I guess. Because right now there's no reason for that, for there not to be something here, because my original one, I think I tried to make that first panel smaller, but I think having it that size is pretty good. I kind of like it that big because it gives you enough detail of him. If I want to, I guess I could shrink it down and then show more of the surrounding area that they're dealing with, where there's just kind of like they're just outside like this small like commercial area. So maybe there's some buildings still kind of like behind some trees in the background. to push this further even, actually. To show this, like, she got him good. Like he was not ready for this. Because he was psyching himself up so much to fight Richard that he forgot to do any research on his daughter and find out what she is about. And he's just like, oh, she's just a civilian along on the journey for some reason. And even Richard doesn't know that she knows this much about Bard magic. I was gonna do, I think in the original one I had it more like, maybe we can do that too. And there's notes that are coming towards him, going through his ears, kind of like that. I wonder what if I could do a sound effect for like the chords being, her fingers touching the chords. That would be kind of cool. It's like her version of a, of like a loading of, like, reloading a shotgun or something. I kind of like that though. I think I will keep that. It is a nice, like, maybe make that her nose. And she's just like, got a concentrated look on her. Like that. And then maybe the hair is kind of loose. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think by the end of the summer it would also be kind of cool for Patreon to have a PDF for printable stickers, because shipping anywhere right now is a pain, but like if I just make printable, like if I just make the PDF for people so they can just print it off themselves, I think that could still be doable. Like I could start with some really simple, I could do like a free one where it's well, I'll put that up to a survey, because I was thinking I could do like a free one where it's like 2 to 3 every on a schedule being released, and or I'll make announcements, and then as the comic goes on, like there'll be new ones, and I'll put it to a vote, like which ones they want to have like a more advanced version of, which would be behind the paywall. Maybe at the $10 or something like that, you can gain access to all that. But I'm going to talk this over with a few people, so, and think about it myself carefully. Let's see. This is Richard again. It's good, like, it kind of, like, I have kind of a, his hair is pretty easy to draw, which is good. I just love that mustache. It'd be kind of cool to do that, actually. I did that by accident, but if I could put some help, like Hellboy kind of inspiration to this, like with the shading, that would be really fun. But we'll see. Maybe for the faraway shots, once in a while, I'll do that kind of stuff. But I don't want to make it look like I'm just trying to steal someone else's style. I want to, if I'm going to use it, I want to use it because, I mean, I would just use it as a reference more than anything else. But, so it wouldn't really make sense to just use it all the time. fighting. Not they're not fighting any like necromancers or Nazis or anything like that. So because it's just this invading realm that's bleeding into our world. And this is like in the story there's already been one that's happened, but this is kind of like my version of like kind of retelling that story again, but with a different with the next generation, kind of like he witnessed the kind of the end of the last invasion, and now he's witnessing this new invasion with his daughter with him, and where he has to worry about her safety, and he has to worry about how his wife is doing in this like forest where she's she's surveying. And on her side, she's worried about them, and she's worried about the just her everything, like surviving the animals in the area. She's afraid that they're going to get hurt. She's worried for her friend that's with her. So, oops, man, this is the kind of stuff you run into, and you just try and rush. And this is why it's always good to do thumbnails and just take the time. I wonder if that's okay to do. I cut off his one arm. I'm not sure if I like that. We can. Oh, you know what we can do? I am having thoughts. We can shrink it down this way. Because this is supposed to be a small image anyway. This is kind of like a full body shot of him just being in complete using his entire body to convey that just how like astounded he is that she's this. I mean, he knows that she's skilled, and he's really always bragging about her skills, but thinking she's strong and actually seeing that she's strong are two very different things. I mean, she's mentally really strong. That's what he's hoping for, is that she's got some skill with this with magic, because she has hinted at it. This is the first time he's found out for sure. He's hoping that she had some skills like his wife, but and as you'll find out in the story, his mother was a bard, so he's really excited to see her take up that role too. I think I'm putting that in kind of as maybe as a reference to my grandmother, so being an artist. So I think that's kind of a fun way of adding in something like that to make it a little autobiographical for that situation. Let's see. Maybe curve his spine a little more. Maybe not. He's kind of just like sorry, just thinking for a second. It's always good to just take a second to just sit back and evaluate something. I'm looking at the thumbnail actually in the Navigator, or the smaller version. And honestly, like what I've seen is that like with certain artists, and I'm gonna do a little more research into this, but and I've actually read some comic tutorials that even confirm this, but just that like it's perfectly fine in far away shots. Like this could qualify. He's pretty. I could even shrink this down more maybe if I want to. Well, I don't know if I want to go too far because that would kind of convey more of a like hopelessness, and this is more of a like shock. I kind of want to show the face still, so yeah. If I had him like in a small panel with a lot of stuff surrounding him, that would be more like him feeling lost and maybe alone. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description once I get this done because it's easier to do it that way. I should have done it to begin with, and I'm honestly just from this point on, I'm gonna leave it there. But on my Instagram, I did some drawings of a few of the creatures, so I'll put a link so that you can watch that if you want to. Just and you get to see maybe I'm very tired and clumsy at the beginning, unless I fix that before I put it up, which I might do. Oh, you know what else is wrong? His eyes. They're totally off. Yeah, his eyes would be more like, what? So they'd be wide. Because he has no. Maybe his mouth is a little open. Like that. The nose is going to be a little higher. This is tough. We'll just redraw this whole face. Oh no. Oh no, it's getting worse by the moment. This is why it's always why I should always have and I'm working on one right now, but a new style guide for all the character. Like this character sheets for the page I'm working on should always be to the should be on the page somewhere, just so I can use them as reference. Kind of. I'll draw the mouth first, and then I'll draw the mustache over it. This looks awkward when I do it this way. I don't know why. Because that's not right. That's a little better. I'll clean it up when I go into the final. This is just. I think I'm spending too much time already on this, so. Let's see. See, but the problem is he's big. Gotta convey that more. Broader shoulders, bigger shoulders. That's kind of what I'm going back through the old pages. And I'm kind of finding out that I drew him too. I don't know if it was because I think it was making him on the old model, and I need to fix that. Where he's in the old model, he was more like just athletic, kind of like Captain America kind of build. But I changed him to be more top heavy, more like or more like wrestler, or just a bigger character in overall. I don't know why it's a wrestler. I definitely do want to probably in the future like look at like some wrestlers for inspiration on like some of these costumes. I mean, some of these characters because like there are some really interesting. And I know that that's a big culture, and that'd be fun to just like tap into that for this for certain things. Although we'll see. It might come off as dishonest since that's not my main interest, and I'd be worried that I'd be trying to just be trying to leech followers from something else in pop culture, and I don't want to come off as pandering. So maybe I just talked myself out of it right now. Yeah, he's just like, oh my gosh. Like his mouth is just open to gape, like, whoa. That was more than I was expecting this early out of the gate. It's like, I need. Say something like, "No, you've got me all fired up," or something like that. And this guy's head tilted to the side, looking at his maze, like he's gonna just. It's starting to glow. And then here, it's gonna have this like blur effect going from it to show the arc of the. That makes sense. That's how it would. Except that's not how it happened. Because that's on the other side of him. Okay. So let's just undo it entirely. If I talk too much in these videos, just let me know. I just feel bad because I want to give you something other than just the drawing itself. Oops. No, that's wrong. His head's up like this because he's hit. See, but I'm worried that that's not showing enough of the wolf being hit. So maybe what we'll do is worry about it in a second when I get it a little more rendered. Because I think I'm just gonna drag it over, honestly. Because I wanted to show like he's hit it so hard that like some of its teeth are flying out or something like that. Nothing too grisly, but just like to show that it. And maybe it's like disrupted his lichen form to a degree because he hit him with so hard with his magic that it canceled out the transformation. Let's see. Sorry. Thinking. I think the biggest concern I'm having right now is on the previous page, which is the page before this. Let's find it. 17. These guys, him, or her, who knows. I need to decide if I am going to change this page completely and just get rid of them, or because it makes kind of no sense. It was kind of something I did, I thought up in one day and I didn't really question it because I just wanted to move the story forward. But, and I could have them appear in the future, but maybe right now they don't make sense. Because, yeah, I might just get rid of them. Because the only reason they're here is just to be an escape route, but they have their car still, so it would make much more sense when they have to abandon their car later on to have someone who has to help them with their own vehicle. Because once they get to the cabin, that's where he's going to leave the car because it's safe there. And he knows that if he takes it any further, it's just going to be adding to making it easier and easier for people to track them because it's his car. So, okay, we're doing pretty good on time. We got 40 minutes into this now, so. But yeah, that's actually pretty easy to fix. We'll just redo this page completely with we can keep the middle where the drone attacks. But I might make it something else. Like a wand. Or a spear. Yeah. Because that fairy, the pixie, she likes to ride a broom. Her broom that she likes to use to save energy for her wings sometimes, and because it goes faster than her, is could be a kind of cool way to like maybe it like slams into the side of them or something and takes out 2 of the tires. Yeah. So I guess that's what we're gonna do right now. Well, let's work on one more page after this, and then we'll go back to that. Because this page, well, except for this, all I have to do is that, and he's in upset. That makes more sense. I think it's just gonna. It works out better that way if I just make it so that he. Because that's too many characters to be introduced so quick. Like, two characters that just show up out of nowhere and get captured instantly. That's kind of boring. I'd much rather. I have another spot in the storyline where that they're heading towards that I want to introduce some non-human characters, and having two goblins that, or like a goblin and maybe a fawn, which is like a human with small deer antlers. Having that be like their guide through the first part of the forest would be kind of cool. Like because they know vaguely in the forest where she is, but they just need help like navigating to at least that area, and then the real adventure begins when trying to find her in that area. Especially with these assassins sent by the villain, the antagonist, and well, you'll see. Other obstacles are in there, or in like remnants of old wars are in there. So, oh yeah, this is something I worked on Sunday. If in case you weren't on that stream, that one came up pretty good, and that's a fawn, kinda. A rough sketch of one, kind of, with a modern twist to it, kind of. So, but he came out pretty good. I might make him a character in the one of the studios they visit, like someone like him, like a fighter in a freak that's like character that's just kind of a sassy troublemaker from a wealthy family, and he's never worried about damages or anything because his family's got enough money to practically rebuild the whole town. So he's like a prankster Bruce Wayne. Prankster young Bruce Wayne. So I guess Bruce Wayne from the TV show. Where was that page I was working on? Where'd it go? 3? No. This is why not calling things illustration is a good thing. There's that. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. There's that. I'll close this. Oops. Sure, save. Not that. Promo. Where did it go? Store. Magic. Close. Do not save. Yeah. Oh. There it is. I keep bouncing right past. No, that's 18. So, oh, and 16, yeah. Because there's like no point. It's also on this one too. There's no point in any of this. These two characters. Because honestly, this first panel could just be Richard driving the car, and then Richard in the driver's seat right here, and she's in the passenger seat, sticking her head out the window, which makes more sense if it's a two-door sedan. Where are they going? Not sedan. I know cars. I'm gonna fix this in a second. I'm just trying to roughen this so I can fix it later, and now that I'm thinking about this now, I don't want to forget, and I will if I don't do it now. So. What else was in this? Oh, yeah. that one came out really good. This is the yeah. I mean, if you've been watching these, you know who this is. This is Gail's research partner. So yeah, that came out really good. I'm really happy with that one. I mean, it needs a little polish, but I'm pretty happy with how she looks, and it's a pretty good page. I mean, a good. Once I do like some final touches, like remove some of the line work and the sketchy part, then I can put it up on the Patreon and on other places to show off the character. Did I close it? Oh no, here it is. It was zoomed out, so I thought it was something else. It's still gonna be. Huh. No problem. See, now I'm gonna go in and sharpen these pages. Just gotta remember with her, there are hair parts in the front, so it kind of would be. Maybe she's doing not that. Her hair's not that long. I gotta look up like good pictures of like maybe her hair's whipping kind of down, like part of it's. I might be going a little bit too extreme here, but I'll find some reference for the final version for what I want to portray here. But it's kind of like her, maybe like that, like a headbang almost, like she's just like slammed her hand forward, and she's kind of got her other hand up here on the. There she's. She's leaping off to the side, kind of just like doing a like mid-air jump as she's blasted in its ears. Like she had this all planned out. Oops. Oh, I can fix her scale in a second. Because once I get that. That's pretty good though, I think. She's got her torso like this. She's kind of like leaping in the air. This is like this. She's kind of like. Boom. That's too much hair. Well, easy way to fix that. There. So, that leg's kind of long. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it is. Because she's not fully grown. She's still like still a kid. So make her a little bit shorter. I'm not gonna make her that much shorter though. Maybe that's too compact. Maybe not. See how it looks. Okay. And then at the end of her staff here. energy source, and it's boom, 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 boom. Okay, maybe she's actually even just like has her head lit back. Her hair is like lit backwards, so she's just like leaping through the air at this guy. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but the point is it's going to be like behind her actually to show that she's the motion of her leaping through the air. I think that's kind of better. Something like that. We'll find a better picture for like reference for that. Okay, well, we're doing pretty good on time. We're 52 minutes in now, so moving along pretty good. Where's the wolf? I got so much stuff going on here that I he's still in this like first form. He does have another one where he can change it into being more energy based, but I don't know if he's going to get to that in this fight. We'll see. I thought it was, yeah, it might tease it. I think on the next page, which I have. Wait, what did I have? What did I do? Yeah. It came up pretty good. Just like a hand. Well, people out tonight. I guess this is Thursdays are always tricky, and I might even do a survey to see if there's a better night for this, because I might change this to a night when I do when I start getting the time lapse videos up. I might release those on Thursday nights, and maybe on Fridays I'll switch those to the longer day because more people probably have that free and don't mind sitting for a little bit of time, just chilling out and listening to something in the background. He's got his teeth clenched. I was going to make it more cartoony, but I don't think it does service to him to make him look cartoony at all, especially since he's kind of a reoccurring character a few times. Or he might be. I mean, I like his design, so I'd like him to be. Got a cool idea for him, and on the next page I might even see it. Maybe I'll. Well, actually, it's not a spoiler because I did that drawing of him, so it's him in another form where he just has like he's more exaggerated and stretched out, and kind of more like a B-movie version of a werewolf, where their limbs are extended out and stretched, and their anatomy is all like grotesque and has human like features, but it's just so deformed and weird that it looks off. It is way too small. An arm, I mean, his arm would be like way bigger. He's got like his hands up like this, like he's trying to turn his head and cover his ears a little bit. And he's not like he's not floored, but he's just definitely stunned by this a little bit, enough to like not be able to keep his guard up while she's doing this. So that looks pretty good, actually. I mean, this is going to look pretty good. So he's got some stripes I can put on him. Why? Why would he have stripes? No stripes, John. Yeah, any feature you put on a character, you're going to have to repeat again and again and again and again and again. So probably not a good idea to make it something complicated like stripes. This is my chance to fix this a little bit. Let's try to just fix his head. I don't like how weird. I guess it's not too bad. I thought it was worse than it turned out to be. Maybe a little bit off, but it's a good chance to just get like certain proportions better. And hey D, thanks for dropping by. I'm working on the page, a new page for the comic. Here it is. I got like a full thing up here. It's a page where they are like in the previous page. Not that page. Wait, yes, that page. They just left this diner, and I'm changing the story as because these characters are both no longer in the story here. They're going to show up later on. So I'm going to omit them. I'm going to change all of this. And modify this all. To be like more of a conversation about like how suspicious everything was at the diner and how something might happen. So I can keep that line there of I doubt it. Like maybe she's like maybe we're in the clear, or maybe this isn't a big deal. Maybe we were just overreacting. And he's like, I don't think so. I think that they wouldn't have scared it. They wouldn't have ushered us out the back of the store if it was a small deal. So, and it just makes more sense to just get rid of these characters because they're just like they're perfect for later in the story, but here they kind of just are like cameos, and I don't need that right now. When I get to a city, sure, I'll have people pop in and out of screen, and like that'll be fun, but just playing with different character like proportions and just like having characters who are like really detailed because they're only going to be in one shot. I don't know if you're doing that for your comic, but it's probably I'd suggest it. It's just a fun way of getting a chance to like flex your creative muscles and just like go nuts on one character, and then just be like, okay, they're gone forever, so I don't have to worry about it. Or you could always just do the cartoon thing of like, if they do ever show up, they're like much more solid shapes and less intricate designs. Because I've seen certain like cartoons do that. So yeah, and I might change the. I don't know if I'm gonna keep. I might make the. I'm conflicted on whether I'm going to keep the drone. I was talking earlier in the stream about how I might change it to be the fairy girl's, the pixie. I keep calling fairy girl. She's a, which is very vague because fairy means like anything really. It could be a fairy could be a goblin. A fairy could be a troll. It's anything fancy really. But anyway, it's I just wanted to say that I kind of want to foreshadow that she's going to show up soon without showing her. So I think either keeping the drone but putting a hint of like her magic, like maybe it's got like her wand and it attached to it or something like that. Or I could just have the her broom slash spear kind of impale the car and cause it to crash. Yeah, this doesn't make sense anyway either, because there. Now I can just change this face, and now it's June instead of the other character. Although I kind of want to change how they're situated too. Like, since this is a different, if it's the spear, then I'm gonna think this over. This is not something I should do on stream because it's too much. Same with this. These two pages I'm gonna rework, and next week or beginning of next stream, if I can do it on Sunday, I'll reveal those at the beginning of the stream. So, see how we're doing. We'll get an hour into it. So I'll do a little bit more, and then we can call it because I'm trying not to keep these too long. So we'll just clean up this. I need to work on noses too, I think, because she needs a more unique nose shape than just like a little nub. I want to make her more recognizable, even by nose. Maybe his hair's kind of like starting to perk out, like how in Ghibli movies or in Dragon Ball, how their hair like perks up when they get stronger or angry. Like in Ghibli, when they get angry, it's kind of like a cat, where it starts to like spread out, and I like that effect. So I think I might do that for here, where he's just kind of like. But in here, it's more excitement than anger. So he's just kind of like. Got that. And he's got this big smile on his face as he's looking at his weapon. Just taking up the whole foreground. And it's this just giant morning star. No, that's not right. I don't want to make that angle. I want to make it more like a more exaggerated angle. So, like that. And he's kind of. Does that make sense? Maybe. That looks more like a slasher film scene than a. Yeah, I gotta fix this. Not quite what I wanted. So I'm gonna change his face to be like more like he's focused now. His hair is blowing in the breeze, and he's kind of just like, now you've inspired my strength. Gotta stop trying to make the mustache taller than his nose. That makes no sense. Might go back to my manga and look at Nausicaa for some inspiration because oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name of the guy, but there's a character. Well, all the old guys have really cool beards in that. I like, I mean, mustaches, and I think that look at how Ghibli does mustaches for this, because I think he does a really great job. And but there's a character in Nausicaa who's essentially my, like I really was heavily inspired by him for this character, where he's this, but he's older. He's like, this is kind of like what would happen if that guy had a son. I imagine because like he just grew up and had a family. But, my point is, I just kind of wanted to look and see how they portray him as strong because it's not. Ghibli's good at like not doing the stereotypical shonen like thing, which I'm gonna play around with the tropes in that because I do like this. Despite how it's fun to poke fun at shonen, I do like it. So, like, I watch My Hero Academia, and show makes me laugh and smile. So, I'm not gonna say I dislike, oops, shonen, but at the same time, it's fun to just be like. It's always funny when there's in this one show where the guys just stare at each other for like 2 episodes and then punch each other. And then it's another 5 episodes before they actually like, get it, like, any like plot information out. But I know why they do it that way, because that's how the manga is. Those can be paced sometimes. And it's perfectly fine, but this won't be like that. So, like that. But I like this idea of like them just being alone because I mean, if you saw like the page before this, all that those two characters added to the story was um, two characters who show up, get them in the car for some reason, and then get knocked out when they are trying to run away from this werewolf character. And I'm like, well, they just did nothing. And I'd be kind of annoyed if I watched a show and two characters did that. And I mean, the point was you're supposed to be annoyed at them anyway, but there's better characters in this series even so far that would be more fun to use as the annoying character. I have some characters that are going to be much more fun for that. Like maybe my character from my other comic that the one that didn't get made might show up and he's kind of a I don't know if stupid's the right word, but he's kind of doesn't think before he acts sometimes. So maybe stupid is the right word. Overconfident at times in some situations. So we got him doing that. So we can kind of. I can always shrink these down a little bit more, but I should plan for dialogue. So let's do that. There we go. See? Pretty as a picture. Because it is one. I might actually hand draw my own bubbles, actually. I'm still conflicted on that, but I think I will actually hand draw the bubbles. I'm going to still use an ellipse tool on the for the dialogue, obviously, so that it fits right, but I think from what I've heard from like several webcomic artists like Brad Geiger and Scott Kurtz, it kind of gives it more your voice when it's your bubbles. I mean, unless you have like a good reason for using a specific type of bubble, like if I have like a robot talk or something, or like make a noise or something, I'll find a bubble that could portray that. Like a, well, I could still draw that. There we go. That's a little better. Duh. Okay. She's a little further along than I thought. So good? Question mark? That's kind of cool. I think I want to do that actually for the coat, because that's the problem, is that his coat's too sharp. Like, I think if I make them more fluffy like that, then they'll stand out across from his hair and make it look like he's wearing something that like has like a nice warm interior, because he knows that they're going to be getting to higher elevation and sleeping by lakes and having cold mornings with no heat. So, except for whatever fire they can make, or which sometimes maybe they won't be able to do. So. I'm really happy with how this is coming along, because like I usually don't get to have this much detail in these pages, but I'm glad I planned it out ahead of time again, because that seems to be the best plan for these streams, is like plan the page out on in pencil and then draw it on here, and then I can have a little bit of time to like refine it on here, and then I can do the final revisions on my own time, and maybe even turn some of those into. I think I was saying in an earlier stream that I'll probably turn those into some speed draws, probably. So that'll be fun. I don't know what I'm going to talk about during the. I'll have to do a. I'll have to look and see what people do during those. I know sometimes people talk about their week, or they. I'll ask around and see what, and then I'll put it maybe another. That'll be one of my early polls. Probably would be like, what do you want me to talk about? Like, I can talk about these art programs, or I can talk about my influences, shows I like, maybe. I don't know. That sounds kind of like it might split people. I don't want to do that. I don't want there to be like two like comment threads that pop up where they're all like, "How could you like this show?" And then other people are all like, "But that show's good." And then there's just fights. Because the point of this is to give you guys something fun that you everyone can enjoy. I don't want to create streams where people have like arguments over what show's better. Yeah, I don't know if you're still there, D, but if you have any thoughts, that I'll have to ask you at the next time we draw together. If you have any ideas of things I can talk about for that. Draw his pants. It's funny whenever I draw pants, I always forget about that like the zipper area with that in jeans and in khakis. That caffeine was a good idea. I feel so much better than usual. But it looks like we're actually out of time, unfortunately. Oh no, we got 10 minutes. So, I started later than I thought. I forgot. No problem. I'm not going to deprive people of a full stream. Especially because I'm making some progress. And if I was just drawing a blank, or if I was not doing anything, I would say don't bother. But actually moving forward with this, and this is coming out looking nice, so I'm pretty happy. He's got these mountain boots on. I'm gonna clean them up a little bit. They're just like mountain hiking boots. Because despite his background, he's really just planning this to be a very long walk. So everything he has is like prepared more for the elements and for the roughing it that way than combat. And I might even make it so that maybe she's actually more prepared for the combat. Maybe June's packed more like backup things, like she's gonna have practice her bard music, and she knew that she needed to be useful, so she packed some, and throughout the journey she's gonna be practicing, or something like that. Maybe that would be kind of cool. Gosh, this pen is so great. It's like proof that you don't need like anything super complicated when it comes to brushes. I don't know whose brush set this came from, or if this is something that came with Clip Studio, but it's pretty good. So I'll just finish with trying to start this. Get the extreme eyes going. Like he's just like so intense and angry right now, or focused. I mean, because he's not even close to angry yet. It's coming down the road. No, why is that? That's wrong. Oh well. Fix it. You can't? Oh. Sorry about that. I was talking pretty quiet there, I guess. Is that better? I forgot what he was even mumbling about when I was quiet. So I don't even think I can like repeat it. No. Okay, let's see. What else do we have to do? We have, yeah, got our final panel here where we're. So, since you just popped in, I'll let you know. I'll leave you. I'll show you the full page and explain what's going on in this page, kind of. So, this is following a storyline where they have just escaped from a tough situation and they're ambushed, and I need to fix this page because it's like I had new characters, but I'm not using them, so I'm going to change this page completely because I want to save those characters. So, and they weren't even of purpose of use in this page anyway. They were just going to be like him holding them, so they were just captives immediately. Oh, just working on the page, so nothing else much. Let's see. But yeah, I'm introducing this new character who's a werewolf, and it can like change into a. He can push himself even further with like using the elements to change his body into like anything that mirrors those elements. Like he can get like fire all over his body, and then gets really big. And oh yeah, those are some of the other characters. Like that's there's Gail, their mother, the one that they're trying to go get to. Kind of went crazy with her hair. I might fix that. But this is a pretty good picture of Nyla. She's this like water dragon that is teamed up with Gale and is keeping her safe. So, but yeah, here's the page I'm on right now where they just like in that previous page they had been like, where's that one? Yeah, in the bottom of it they kind of like realize they're going to get into this fight and they're both rearing to go, and it's kind of one of those like I'll take him, and then in this next one it's showing like he's getting all powered up and getting his magic ready, and then all of a sudden she just like jumps into action and blasts this werewolf with some of her magic from her. She's a bard, so she's using this magic from her guitar and just like blasting him with loud music essentially. uh when can you where can you see more? There's my Instagram at um, SR Dunbar 82, or there's the well, that's the best place right now. I'm going to have more up on the Patreon soon at SR Dunbar. I mean, sorry, it's patreon.com/SR Dunbar. Where? Let me see. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Yeah, patreon.com/SR Dunbar. So, where's that page that I? Oops. Hide this. No. There. Yeah. Zoom in on it. Oops. Yeah. Very soon I'll have like I'm working on like a few different things for there, but I was talking about those earlier in the stream where I'm going to have like possibly screens for cell phones, and I'm gonna have like character bios up there with like or character sheets to show off all the different people and different poses, and yeah, I have a whole bunch on there. But for now, just my Instagram is the best choice. So, let's see. Oops, I don't need to see his stuff. Let's see. Yeah. So it's SR Dunbar 82. Right now, it's been mostly a lot of videos with D Hosner. I've been drawing with him. So yeah, if you want to see some of that, but this is a lot of my work here. Yeah, it goes quite a ways back. Yeah, that last video, I was working on a few of the creatures for the comic, along with doing some fun cleanup touches on a character who's going to appear very soon in the comic. So, if you want to see that, you can go to the last video and just jump around until you find everything, because if you don't want to watch the whole thing. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna just add it to the video afterwards. Yeah, I mentioned that at the intro. So, yeah. Oops. How are we doing on time? I think we are just about at the end. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put the Instagram in the link, and I'll be drawing again on Sunday night, possibly. I think I have an event in the day, but I think it should be over with by then. So I'll draw some probably some more characters over the weekend. Just some. I might do another character generator, but I'll try and find a different one because that one was kind of. It was okay. It's better for the dialogue generator, which has like this, which is fun to do with other people because you have more time. But when you're by yourself and you're trying to think, you're not saying anything, so it's kind of boring. So I think I'm gonna try and just like maybe use like Jazza's art program or something like that, and just like try and create something. Or I have an art book here that I can use for generating a character. But yeah, I'll be streaming again on Sunday. I believe it's 7. It might be 7:30, but I'll try to put some kind of update up if it's later than that. But it probably won't be. So thanks for joining, and thanks to everyone who is in the chat. It's nice having people to talk to during this. And it's good to know when I can't be heard. So that was helpful. But I'll see you guys on the Sunday. So